Vermont Driver of the Week, Yannick Gingras. And we were just chatting about being dads, right? I got two. That's where I stopped. I only have two hands. It was quite chaotic there when we started off. They're 8 and 9 now. It's a little bit better, but they still fight. But you got three right now, and they're all young. So things are chaotic there at the Gingras household.
Oh yeah, the baby's the easiest one. She only whines a little bit when she's hungry and stuff. She's a good little girl, but my 4-year-old, my 6-year-old, they go at it pretty good. And like that's what we were saying. They go at it for no reason really, but then in the other times they obviously love each other. Other times they're really good. So, but that's life.
But we keep telling ourselves it's rewarding. It's a lot of fun to go home to. You followed in the footsteps of some great drivers from Quebec, of course, and Yonkers, Mike Lachance, Luc Ouellette, Dan Dubé. You've been a top driver just about everywhere you've gone, and you really paid your dues here at the Meadowlands. You're in a really good place right now compared to where you were when you first came here.
Oh, absolutely. I was young too. Like people don't realize how young when I first came here. I was 24, 25 years old, and a lot of the guys made the move later on in life. I think I did pay my due. I think I hooked up with very good trainers along the way, and I'm really happy with the way that things are going, that's for sure.
Back-to-back $11 million seasons, a stretch last fall when you won 16 races worth at least $100,000 with 9 different horses, and you called it the best 3 months of your career. What a roll.
By far, too, because even like going in the middle of the summer, I didn't think I was having that good of a year. I didn't have except foiled again. He was my main horse, and he always been my main horse, but I didn't have anything else to look to. Like I didn't have any top horse, but all of a sudden in a 2-3 months period, so many horses came my way, and it was great. I love racing in those races, and it's even better when you win those races.
Governor's Cup with a rock and roll dance is coming back as a 3-year-old. You got a lot of good ones coming back. Of course, the Cane Pace with Better Than Cheddar at Pocono, the Monument Circle with Hug a Dragon. But let's look back, take us back here to Hambletonian Day. Dropped the ball. She just exploded off this torrid pace, 149.1, outsprinting the favorite Idyllic in the Mistletoe Shaoli. What are you thinking here?
Oh, she's a scary fast filly. Around last turn, I definitely didn't like my spot. From the rail, I never got out until halfway down the last turn. But I knew she could motor home, and if she behaved, she could give them a run. But I didn't think I would reach from there. It was a little freaky mile that she put up. But that's kind of a filly she is. She's kind of mare. Hopefully she's going to be next year. She's scary fast, and as long as she minds her manner, I think she'll be really tough to beat next year.
Was it a mental thing with her, physical, or both?
A little bit of both. I think her feet was bugging her a little bit. Russ took care of that. Changed the shoe a little bit, and her bridle changed. I think she had a little bit of attitude with that when she cleared the lead for a while. But I think it's maturity too. She didn't race very much as a 2-year-old, and she came back as a 3-year-old, and we put her against really top guns right off the bat. And I just think it was her getting a little bit more mature, me learning to know little quirks about her as well. I don't think it was all her fault too. A couple of times I put her on the front, or I called on her and things like that. That maybe it was my fault too. But everything came together at the right time, and she had a good end of a season. And I think she was the best 3-year-old filly at the end of the year.
I thought she was. I voted for her, but she didn't win. See you at Peelers. But she finished off the year strong, of course, winning the American National, or make that the matron. Maybe not a Darlin's Delight, but we'll find out down the road. Certainly one to watch. The oldest horse at age 7 to post $1 million season. We're talking, of course, of the Triple Millionaire, foiled again, winner of the Molson Pace, the Graduate, Indiana Pacing Derby, American National. Tell us about this great pacer as he wins the Graduate right here.
Well, that's just a typical race for him, actually. Come first up, but he's just such a great horse. He's got a great determination. He never quits. It's been a pleasure to drive him. It's like 4 years now I've been driving him, and he's gave me some great thrills. He doesn't like trips. He's like same thing with him a little bit. He's got little quirks about him, but he tries 150%, and he's not the biggest horse out there, but he's definitely got the biggest heart.
What's amazing is that Ron Burke could have 2 horses threatening Gallo Blue Chips all-time earnings record of $4 million plus. Of course, won the West End on this great pacer as well. Tell us about your relationship with Ron Burke. How did that start? Like, where did you meet him, and how did that start evolve?
Well, what it started at Freehold maybe 5 or 6 years ago. I actually didn't meet him for probably a year after that. I started racing. Ideal Weather was probably one of the first horses I drove regularly for him. And and then the next year I drove a little bit more, and every year seems to give me a little bit more work. It's the first year that I got first call by myself here. Usually it's a split between a few different drivers here at the Meadowlands. I've been driving like 100% for him on the other tracks, but it's great to have him behind me. He's a great guy to drive for. You can't beat it. I mean, it's not a guy that's going to call you and complains after races. He understands the game. I make mistakes like everybody else, but
gives you confidence, though.
Well, absolutely. Nobody's going to be screaming at you after the race. No, you're not going to be off the horse if you drove him bad. And I mean, like I said, I make mistakes, but everybody does, and I'm very thankful that he understands that.
Well, hopefully you won't make any mistakes in the first race tonight. As we take a look at your drives tonight, and we'll start with the opener here with the one Arsenal in a very tough division here. This one had some sneaky pace on the end of it, part of the Burke Barn trio in the first race.
He's a nice little horse, a couple starts ago, when I raced him at Chester, he raced really good. I laughed hard with him, and he had a good trip, set the 2-all, and he finished up strong. I think last week the lines looked good. They looked like he had some pace on the end of it, didn't have much of a chance, but hopefully we can give him a little bit of a better chance tonight.
He might be a little more forwardly placed tonight, perhaps.
Hopefully so.
All right, I Trust You overcame that brutal trip first over post 10 and held off the entry mate or stablemate Risk Management. Now, to me, I don't know. You correct me if I'm wrong. The horse didn't look all that 100% smooth in the stretch, but maybe that was because of the tough trip.
No, he's always like that. I mean, Ronnie said, "Don't look down and keep driving," but like you should have seen him. Yeah, don't look down. But that's Ronnie's line. But he used to be a lot worse. Actually, he's really good right now. When I raced him at Chester, you really didn't want to look down, but now you don't. No, it don't really matter. But he's just he's got big lungs on him. Last week he went a brutal trip, and really, to be honest with you, he had more of the wire. I mean, he's the type of horse that once you get into him a little bit, if you drive on him, he'll go even more. And last week it was kind of hand driving finishing. So I mean, I think he's a very good horse, and if he comes back as good as he's been and as good as he was last week, he'll be real tough to beat. All
right, moving on. You've got a lot of rails here in the first few races. Past the Deck, a 12-year-old who has some history here.
Oh, absolutely. He's a good old horse too. I drove him, for years ago, like at Freehold here and there. It's a good class for him. He's going to have to get lucky, but hopefully with the rail we can stay up close and shake loose late.
Okay, Annie's Western card. The only thing you need to say here is no golden receiver this week.
Yeah, he's tough to beat. That's for sure. Like I said, the 2-all behind him 2 weeks in a row, and he just dusted me last week. He had the plugs in, and still a golden receiver. So he's going to be tough to beat. But I'm glad that we get away from him tonight. So maybe it'd be my horse night to shine.
All right, moving on. Adams Hanover from the rail has had some braking issues. What's up there?
He's just a tricky horse. Now I only went with him a couple times, but he has a lot of go. He's a big, strong horse, and the rail is definitely going to help him. He can stay up close and hopefully shake loose late. But he's not as bad as the program looks. He's definitely not a bad horse.
Well, he's got a purple pedigree, Western Hanover, Armbro Amaretto there. So
yeah, exactly.
A lot to live up to there. Let's move on to the one Transcending, draws inside warning zone, 53-4 back half. That's not shabby.
He was actually very good. Sedona one, he's a little bit tricky. Last week I had plans on leaving hard with him, and the gate folded, and that wasn't his intention. So we had to take back, and we got to wait like 6 or 7 or something like that, and we came in the flow. The flow wasn't going very good, and the other horses got away from me. Hopefully I can keep him close to the pace tonight, and he's a very, very good horse, and I think this track will help him too. All
right, moving on to race 7, Bay of Sharks, post 10, 2 for 2 here, but a tougher spot tonight.
It's definitely a tougher spot, but he's been very, very good actually. I raced him at Chester, and I wasn't really in love with that horse, but his 2 starts here, and last week he raced very good, and he was pacing stronger at the wire than he was at any other point in the race. I think he's come a long way. He obviously likes the mile track, so it's definitely out of question. Obviously 10-hole, but he's done it a couple starts ago from the 10-hole, so it's not out of question.
Okay, reunited with Electrofire in the 8th race, an outstanding win from post 10, 2 starts back.
He's a sweet little horse. Gene told me before I raced him that night that he does everything right. He can leave. He's nice and handy, and he really was right. That's it. He's going to have to get lucky. I don't think he can rough it up or nothing like that. But if the trips work out, I really liked him tonight. I drove him.
Okay, I like the way you stole one on the lead there with the 9 Tomeo.
Yeah, we probably won't steal one tonight, but he is a good horse. He's got some issues. Obviously, he's not in the. He was a good 50 climbers for a while, and now he's a 20-30 climber. So hopefully this track's not too hard for him tonight, and he can perform well again.
Okay, round 2 of the presidential race 10, Rock in the House. How do you figure out Golden Receiver and River Shark?
Yeah, but I tell you what, this horse race, he qualified very good, and I didn't think he was quite ready to go a big mile last week, but he did. He actually I think it's probably the first time this meet we have the real Meadowlands shuffle, and he was the he was the one getting it. He was on the front in the first in the first turn. He was last around the last turn, and he paced home real strong. So I mean, it's going to be tough to beat Golden Receiver. Even River Shark has been really good too. But we'll give it a try.
Okay, twice beaten favorite. Get it now. Does he atone tonight? He got really roughed up last week. What,
well,
three wide?
That's one of the one that Ron Burke could have called me about a bad drive, but he didn't.
Okay.
But it's 3 deep, almost to the half last week, and so we'll try to drive him a little bit better tonight. He's actually belongs. No, I think he fits really well in there. I think he might even be the horse to beat, to be honest with you. But it'd be my job to get him a better trip.
Okay, and one more. Get on the way on the choo-choo tonight, all the way.
I don't think so.
No?
He's kind of horse that likes to have a target. He comes. He kind of lets up a little bit once he clear the lead. So if I could have a target, I think he'll be tough. But I don't think he can rough it up on the front. But who knows? Maybe that's where I'll line up.
Yannick Gingras, thanks so much for joining us tonight. Great insight here. Best of luck in 2012. You got things going real well with the Burke Barn bandwagon here in the Sulky. Thanks for joining us. Best of luck. And we've got a timeout here, and we'll come back with Wendy Ross and preview round 2 of the Presidential.